we looked at Acts chapter 19, verse 13 to 38. Okay? And this is a story in Acts chapter 19. It is a story of Paul's missionary journey. And he was going through Asia Minor, preaching in every town he came across, visiting the disciples where he met them. And he came upon this town where he met the sons of Sceva. And the sons of Sceva wanted to do what he did. And so they wanted to cast out demons. And they said, in the name of Jesus Christ, whom Paul preaches. Okay? And what happened was that instead of the demons going out, they attacked. They used the man that was possessed to attack the sons of Sceva and beat them very badly. Now this is an example of, I wanted to use the scripture to show us, to give us a highlight. In addition to the following story, when we read down from verse 13 downwards, we see also the complaint of one artisan. Okay? As this artisan. And he, because of the disciples that Paul was bringing to the faith, he got concerned. Will we have patronage again? Because he made his main source of income was that he made idols for the goddess Artemis that was worshipped by the people, the local people of that place. And that was how he made his money. And so he started complaining. This man is taking away our customers. He brought his people together, started saying, he's taking away our customers. And it caused an uproar in the whole town. Okay? And so they came together and grabbed some of the disciples of Paul and they brought them before the city council. Look, this man is turning our disciples against us. So he's turning our disciples against us. He is taking away our source of living. He must go. He must not preach this message here again. The uproar continued. Paul wanted to address them. They stopped him. But the whole aim of these stories is that local belief systems affect what we preach, the gospel we preach, and it is observed all over the world that is so. Okay? Local belief systems. Okay? And I helped us to understand that I watched a video where a man risked his life, as he thought, by going to visit the head of the cult called the KKK. Okay? Which is known to be a racist cult. But this cult bases its belief systems on Christian beliefs. Okay? This cult bases its belief systems on Christian beliefs. Everyone, Acts 19, verse 13 to 38, so that you can see what I'm talking about. That every human being wants to be involved in the thing that is considered to be good. In the rave of the moment, the popular thing of the moment. Okay? Every human being wants to be involved in the popular thing of the moment. And this is what Acts 19 shows us. Okay? No one wants to be the one who is cast out and considered to be a cultist, or somebody who is not doing the right thing. But in history, we have seen that there is always good as opposed to evil. Somebody must do good, somebody must do evil. There exists right and there exists wrong. And we see it from the story of Acts 19 verse 30 to 38. We discover that organizations like the KKK, which this man went to interview, also base their beliefs on the Christian Bible, on the Christian church. So they believe that they should segregate between black and white based on the Christian Bible. I don't know where they get that from, because I'm not a member of the KKK. But this is their own belief. And we saw that in every culture there exists this tendency. Because we are from different races, we are from different tribes. And when we base our belief system on our culture, that is what will happen. Because everybody wants to protect, first of all, the issue of making a living. People want to make a living. If you have a family, you must feed that family. And the whole clan is based on the family. The whole tribe is based on the family. The race starts from the family. And so it is important to distinguish between our cultural values and Christian values. We discover that many people over the centuries have accepted Christ. But it is no longer news that many of these people accept him with conditions. Okay? They accept him with conditions based on these tribal biases, racial biases. And so it is difficult to distinguish between cultural values and Christian values. That is why the whole of the writings of the Apostle Paul are dedicated towards trying to explain to the people that following Christ is different, distinctly different from following the Jewish way. Because the Jewish way is based on a family, okay? A people. If the Jewish way was the ideal way that God wanted, he wouldn't have brought Christ into the picture. And that is why he was rejected by them, because of this reason. Some of these cultural systems and peoples have taken over some denominations, some Christian denominations, as we see in the KKK. Okay? And they have formed their own denomination, and they are not the only people. The reason for denominationalism, my own research, personal research, I found out that the reason for denominationalism in the first place is most times because of cultural differences, tribal differences. On the outside, it looks as if, yes, they are debating on key doctrines from the Bible, okay? But it is very difficult to divide doctrines in the Bible, except there is a tribal bias, a conceptual tribal bias. Because the Bible is very clear and very explicit, except for somebody who does not want to understand it. And Acts 19 gives us a very clear scenario where a people refuse the gospel because it impinges on their local traditions. This is what Acts 19 tells us. There is no tribe on earth that does not have this bias. And I've told you, especially the Jews. What are the issues that arise? When we look at it, as I have already mentioned, cultural family values. Okay? Cultural family values. Those are the issues that arise. Economics, the issue of provision. Where will I get food to feed my family? To be respectable among my peers. And the third issue is spiritual bindings. Some of our ancestors have developed systems of spiritual systems that govern their society. Okay? And those systems continue to act like chains on their children. Okay? And every tribe has it. Every people have it. Let me tell you, even the Jews are not exempt. Their own chain is the chain of obedience to the Torah. Okay? Yes. It is a bind. It is a bind that followed them throughout the Old Testament. And the hatred that they have attracted because of their way of life follows them up to today. So it is like that for every tribe, no matter what your belief system is. Every people. So these reasons that I've mentioned, cultural family values, economics, and spiritual values, are so powerful that sometimes they are stronger than the conviction that Jesus is Lord. And they hinder people from coming to Christ in truth. And like I mentioned, if you look at that, Mama is covering that. If you look at that, you discover that the 666 system is solely based on these problems. Okay? Practicality of life. That is all it's about. That is all it is about. Go to Revelations. What is it about? Say, well, you cannot go to the what? Market and buy. Once you don't have the number. So it's all about practicality, human practicality. You see it there. It creates a system where people are segregated. People cannot participate. No financial inclusion. Cannot participate in the economic system going on. But what we observe, because the truths are good, Satan discovers that, look, if I want to rule these people, I must steal these truths that Jesus has brought to them, okay? And I must make them my own. He does that in our cultures by pretending that he loves the family. Okay? Family values. So the stolen truths are now used to now create a dummy church. You see it there? A dummy church. Now this church is meant to replicate the true church of God. In the true church of God, that is why the road is what? Narrow, okay? But it is what? Straight. Is that not? It is straight. From truth, straight to the church of God. There is no going around. There are no reasons why we should not do it like this or we should do it the other way. You know? But if you look at it very carefully, you will see that that's what is going on. So this is what creates the 666, the world system, very clearly stated in Revelation 13, verse 1 to the end, to 18, okay? This is what it is. Now, is it that you cannot live your life just by being truthful, just by being honest, just by being hardworking? But because Satan has corrupted the system, so every generation now builds, say, okay, this is the way now things are done. I remember some years back when one of the presidents of Nigeria came to power, and he was ruling, and then something happened. A minister, a high-ranking minister, was caught, pilfering money or paying a bribe. I think he was paying a bribe. And he was taken to court. And he was shocked. He said, why? This is how everybody does it. You remember that story? He said, why? He felt like he was being victimized. Because this is how it is done. So this is just an example of what is going on. Okay, this is what is going on. What is going on? I can use the story that is going on in the United States right now. For how many years they have been going to the past to dig up things that celebrities are doing wrong. Is that not? And then taking them to court. 30 years ago, 20 years ago, there's one in their courts right now. Why? And it was accepted as a normal thing. In fact, you can go to YouTube and you play a video where two people were discussing, and one of the people confessed, and he said, "Well, I break people's hands to make it in life." He said he will break somebody's hand if you don't pay him his money, okay? Or you don't do the thing the way, he will break your hand. Because if you do not, I think I was watching another, yes, this one was another documentary yesterday. And they were talking about how this thing has become a business for some people. They create a company that now they go and patent thoughts, people's thoughts. They patent people's thoughts and say, okay, you cannot drive without, you can just sue somebody for driving down the street. Imagine. He has a license, he has gone to the government, he has gotten a license, he has registered the car, he bought it legally, but because he has gone to get a patent that has to do with driving or making roads, he will take you to court and sue you. Because he knows that you cannot pay. And you will pay him. And there, in that video, this man confessed that shop owners are forced to pay tax that is not registered by the government for protection. These things that we watch in the movies, in the films. And this is what I'm saying. And I say, look, I will not leave my country and go to another man's country if I don't know what I'm doing. Okay? Are you listening? And these are the things that they are now exporting back into Nigeria. Although it's also in Nigeria, it has been there. I remember a pastor said that in Nigeria there was a time when you are parked your car and somebody will come and remove the windscreen in the night, and you know where it is. You will have to go and pay to collect it. Here in Nigeria, here in Jos. So this is the world system that we're talking about. Okay? I hope you will understand. This is the world system that we're talking about. You and your car, you bought it legally, but somebody will come and remove the windscreen, go and keep it in his own garage or in his own shop. And you will line up to come and pay to collect your thing back. This is the problem. So this is what they call culture. And this is what Christ is saying, no. Okay? This is all. As contrary to our often mystic views of cults, we often think that cults are groups that do witchcraft. Okay? In other words, they suck people's blood. But I'm here to tell us that cults are formed mainly based on these two reasons that I named. And a lot of them are just for financial gain. Just for financial gain. Okay? And to feel better than somebody else. Based on tribal or racial delineation. And all that, man, you have to trace it back to financial gain. How do we conquer these divisions? Now this is the question. How do we conquer these divisions? 1 Corinthians 15 verse 31 to 36. First, by knowing why these divisions exist. Okay? And 1 Corinthians 15 verse 31 tells us that a lot of people who still are unable to die to the flesh, die to the world system, is because they lack genuine what? Conversion. They do not believe in the resurrection of Christ Jesus, or Jesus Christ. In truth, they are unable to die. They are unable to say, I will stake my life for this thing. Okay? That is what it means to die. It's not saying go to really die physically, commit suicide. Okay? No. See, you have killed that part of your life. You are unable to say, see, whether I die, it doesn't matter, because I believe this thing. John 12 verse 24 to 27, fear of suffering and death itself. The same thing, is talking about the same thing. You must die. You must die to the things of this world. Funny enough, that when you go to some of these cultural belief systems, they have rituals within their system that mimic this thing. Okay? They mimic this thing. This ritual death. It is in many cultures it is practiced. Ritual death. Okay? Before you can join even a cult, you have to go through some kind of ritual death. Okay? A lot of it is copied from Christianity. Because Christianity ruled right from 300 years after Christ, okay, up till about just about 1,000 years ago, okay, just about 1,000 years ago. That is when Christianity fell. Some people don't know this, and I was shocked to hear somebody talking, and she said that the Crusades took place in the 1st century. To show you the level of ignorance about the history, the world history. Okay? There's a lot of ignorance out there about world history. They said the Crusades took place in the 1st century. The Crusades were way in the 5th century. Okay? Way down in the 5th century. 6th, 7th century. In the 1st century, the only person that was there, was alive, was a Christian, if you are to use that name, because he is Christ, okay, was Jesus Christ himself and his 12 what? Apostles, okay? They were so persecuted, he first was killed, and for the next 300 years after he was killed, they as a people were persecuted and killed. Even in the year 300, when Constantine made Christianity a world religion, a state religion, sorry, he didn't force anybody, okay? He just adopted it as his own emblem for his own. He didn't go on any crusade, okay? It was a civil war between he and another rival, and so they met on the battlefield. And while the battle was going on, he saw a vision, and the vision told him, follow the cross. You know, the cross Chi-Rho, okay? And in our day today, this symbol Chi-Rho is considered an extremist symbol. But all it means is Christos, Jesus Christ. Okay? That's what it means. There's nothing about it. And Jesus Christ is known as the most loving, most humble person who died for his followers, if not for the whole humanity, for his followers, okay? But today, in the world that the world system is creating, it is considered an extremist symbol, Chi-Rho. So this is the symbol, okay, that Constantine now put on the shields of his soldiers because of that vision. First of all, he knew they were Christians he had personal relationship with, okay, and he knew them. They were serving in his court. And so when he saw that vision, he accepted. And he put that symbol on his, as an emblem for his army. and he won the battle, the war. Okay, he won the war, and that is how he said everybody, as was the tradition in those days when he took over as a tyrant. Okay, he said now everybody under his kingdom should follow Jesus Christ. But of course, historians say that in truth he himself never got baptized until he was about to die. Okay? Yeah, he never really practiced it. He allowed a lot of paganism, and that is how paganism got into the church. Okay? So this is the truth of it. Many people who come to Christ do not really practice the faith because they are afraid of the persecution that Christians went through. Till the year 313, and yes, up to the year 328, Christians were being persecuted and killed. Some were thrown to lions for the entertainment of the people. It is even argued that actually it was Christianity Muhammad wanted to renounce. Okay? It is argued that is actually what he wanted to renounce. And I'm telling you, going to Islam, that is actually, he believes that he has brought back Christianity based on the Quran. Okay? He believes that he has brought back Christianity. That's what he believes. So to show you how the religion was so valuable, okay? It was the only thing, the in thing, okay? I tell you, what you see today is actually, most of what you see today is false, is fake. Most of what you see, just take it from me, okay? Is fake. It's like now, if there was a bully going up and down in just now, okay? Everything he wants to do, he will do it. If he wants to carry your car, carry it. If he wants to carry this other thing, he will do it. It happened to the Christians, okay? They became like that, okay? Late in the Christian Roman Empire, okay? They became bullies. Christians became bullies. And so somebody rises up and he overthrows the bully. If you come on TV now, you want to say, this man, what would they do to you? He was a good person, what would they do to you? They will ignore you. Is that not? They will ignore you. That is what is going on now. Whatever you see now is a reaction to what the late Christians from time of the Crusades, okay? Before the Crusades and after the Crusades, what they did, okay? Because they were bullies. They were. And that is why also, because of this fear of legalism within Christianity, some people fear to be reconscripted by the legalistic Judaism. Okay? So that's why they're so afraid of Judaism. And so they never give themselves totally to Christ. And the final reason is ethical difficulties in times of war. Okay? There are certain ethical difficulties that face human beings in times of war. And some of these ethical difficulties are interracial marriages. Okay? Interracial marriages. Divorce and remarriage. There's a lot of divorce within local tribes. And some of these tribes have very liberal remarriage customs. Okay? Divorce and remarriage customs. Of course, we know many tribes in Africa while a woman can go to the marketplace and there she will divorce her husband and marry another man. Okay? So because of that, they don't really want to accept Christ. Because for them, that is the ideal way of life. Some of them is about what to eat. Okay? They are concerned about the kinds of things they eat. Bush meat in a place like Nigeria, bush meat is very important. So if you tell them that in any way that your faith will require them to change their dietary culture, they will be careful with you. Healthcare. Some want healing. It is an issue of healing. Okay? Can you heal? If you can provide healthcare, a lot of evangelical preaching was centered around healthcare. Okay? They provided healthcare to the people and the people came to Christ. Some of those people really didn't know what they were coming to. They just wanted to be what? Healthy. Okay? So this is just what I have been trying to say. Singles in relationships. Practicalities of handling relationships as singles. And you are told not to sleep together before marriage. How does that work? I remember in the 80s, it was a popular thing among the youth. It was almost a taboo to tell a young person not to have a girlfriend. In fact, the holiness movement is a very new movement, okay? It started in the 90s. That is where it started gaining strength. Because this is where we are living. That's the truth about it. A very new movement. Polygamy and incest. These are things that still are destroying people's foundation in Christ. They cannot really submit to Christ because they used to practice these things and now they are being told not to practice. Human beings always have the tendency to compromise with what is popular and not what is right. Hard work, patience, perseverance, and responsibility are still the old and relevant solutions. But people still find it hard to accept these principles. So brothers and sisters, this is what I try to point out. And the point is that many people want to side with what is popular. And sometimes Christianity is just what is popular. Okay? It's just what is popular. And everybody wants to say, I don't practice religion. But in truth, that is what you practice. Everybody wants to say, it is faith I practice. And most of the idea behind that is that, okay, it is liberal. It is the in thing. But the truth is that is what you practice. You practice a religion. And most of those religions are based on cultural biases. How to feed the family. And so there are certain shortcuts that are taken. And once you are able to compromise with those shortcuts, you are accepted into the society. You are accepted into the community. And we have many churches that are based on this and not necessarily on Christ. And so, if you want to base your faith, you have to think about these things. Okay? Vis-a-vis what is happening. You have to think about these things. Especially when they say, they want to, don't talk to this other person. You just join. This is a bad person. Don't buy this person's product. He brings it to the market. You just join. Believe it or not, Revelation 13 is there before you. Okay? And there is no claim of Christ that is going to save you from those decisions you make. Because Jesus Christ said, if you deny me, I will what? Deny you. There is no other way. This is just what we want to bring out today.
It's a long, long way back home. It's a dry and rusty patch to where I belong. My heart is breaking. breaking. I hear your voice, you're saying, come home, come home. I hear the trumpets, my heart rejoicing. I hear your voice, you're saying, come home, come home. I hear you calling, my heart is breaking.
Discover a transformative journey into the kingdom of heaven. Following the initial publication, the author dives deeper with 2 insightful follow-up books. Ever felt disconnected from God even in worship? Explore how God's unconventional ways can transform your life. How can you align with divine plans, avoiding distractions? Find answers in The Kingdom of Heaven on Earth and The 3, Illuminating Christian Truths and Prophetic Practices. Unlock profound insights guiding you toward a deeper connection with God. Don't miss out. Dive into this enlightening exploration today. Click the link on the caption to get your copy.